Hey everybody, it's Emily from Homeschooling, and I'm going to do a kind of a chat discussion-y kind of video today where I talk about how I read so much. I've been asked by a few different people how I read as much as I do, and I always feel like I don't read that much. I mean, I know I read a lot, but I always feel like when I watch other booktubers that are reading like 10 to 12 books a month, and I've got like 4, that I'm like, I don't read that much, but I do. I mean, I know I read a lot because that's like what I do, but I still don't feel like I can even compete with some of these other booktubers who read like dozens of books in a month, which is just, I don't know how you do that unless that's like your job, that all you do is read. But yeah, as a busy mom, I do have 4 kids. I do homeschool them. I do run a business, so I have a lot on my plate already, so finding time to read can be hard. But I have always believed that when you really want to do something, you can always make time for it. And I've always loved reading. I don't remember a time when I didn't read. I mean, even when I was very small, I was always reading. So I'm just gonna, I don't feel like I can give you advice necessarily on how to read more, because I think it's really personal to your day and to your schedule and to what works for you. But this is just what works for me. So first, I always have a book nearby. Literally everywhere I go in the house or when I'm out, if I'm going to be somewhere, although I do have a hard time reading in public because it's just, I'm too easily distracted by everything that's going on around me. But I still carry a Kindle with me if I'm going to be somewhere that I think I might have time to read. But yeah, everywhere in my house I have something to read. So I have like an upstairs book, I have a downstairs book, I have my Kindle by my bed, and I read that at night because you can read it in the dark and it's awesome. I have a book in the bathroom most of the time, so I have something to read everywhere so that no matter what, whatever I'm doing, whenever I get a chance, I can read. I'm often multitasking, and I'll sometimes be reading while I'm cooking, which is not the greatest idea because that's usually, you know, if I'm really into a book and I'm trying to read and cook, then I'll burn dinner or I'll do something stupid to dinner. But I have been known to, you know, try to sneak a chapter in here and there while I'm cooking. So yeah, I'm always reading. I always have something nearby. I like to choose books that I know I'm going to like. If I am forcing myself through a book, it's going to take forever and I'm probably going to give up on it. I DNF books all the time because either I heard it was going to be good and I tried it and I didn't like it, or I was reading it for just whatever and I didn't like it. If I don't like a book, I am not obligated to finish it. I can't make myself do that. I only get so much free time, so I only read books that I really want to read. So, yeah, I try, unless it's like I'm reading it for lesson planning purposes or something, and if I don't really like it, I will sometimes finish it for those purposes, but most of the time I just DNF it. I don't want to finish a book I don't like. I always choose books that I know I'm going to want to finish, or that are going to really engage me, and I'm just going to like be completely enveloped in the story, and that I know that are going to grip me, and I'll want to finish them. I've often, I wouldn't say I always do this, but I've tried to enforce at least an hour of quiet in my day, and it's not always been successful, but that hour has always been like, that's reading time. And I've always felt that it's important for my kids to see me reading because that's going to make them want to do it too. That children learn through imitation, and I want them to imitate that I like to read and that they will want to read too. So it hasn't always worked. My boys still think reading is like not for them, but you know, I do what I can. But I do try to let them see me read. So yeah, sometimes during the day I'll just sit down if everyone's doing their own thing and I'll sit and read. But I've not successfully enforced that. I know some people have. I know like Susan Wise Bauer always says, you know, designated reading time or quiet time in the day, and maybe with some kids that works. Has not been successful with my children. But if you can do that, that is rad, and you should, because getting your kids to be quiet for an hour at a time, it's like magic powers. But But yeah, I'm in a different season of life now too. My 3 oldest, they're all teenagers, so it's easier for me to send them off to go do something. My 7-year-old, on the other hand, is a different story, though I have been known to get her to sit quietly for a little while and draw, or something like that, and that's when I'll sneak some reading in. I do also designate like work hours for myself, so I do have to read for my business. I mean, that's, I have to read books to write lesson plans about them. So I do designate time during the day, like this is mom's working time, and I'm going to be busy for the next 2 hours. If you need something and it's an emergency, you can come get me, but otherwise just go about your business. And I think this works best right now because I do have older kids, and like I can send my 17-year-old to go deal with a 7-year-old if she's just being overly rambunctious, which she often does. But I do try to keep those to working hours and not, sneaking in my own book that I might want to be reading. But yeah, that's one thing that works for me right now, is just designating certain hours of the day. Also, if you can read in the evening, that's a great time to read. Once the kids are all in bed and you have some quiet. Now, I tend to watch TV in the evenings with my husband, but there are evenings where there's not anything good on TV, and I'll just go read. I mean, if there's nothing to watch, why sit and watch him flip channels? So I'll just read. I'll read for an hour or two in the evening, especially if I'm in the middle of a book I really want to finish. That's the perfect time to read. There's no interruptions usually because the kids are in bed. I also, like I said, I always keep my Kindle by my bed. I don't read every night because some nights I'm just too tired and I just want to sleep. But there are plenty of nights where I just can't get to sleep yet. I tend to have a bit of insomnia. So I'll just read. I like my Kindle at night because I don't have to turn a light on. It has a light up screen, and I can read for hours, and that's awesome. Or I might only read for 10 minutes because suddenly I'm sleepy. But yeah, so I always read at night too, and I just, like I said, you fit it in wherever it works in your day. If it's something that you really want to make happen, you're always going to be able to find at least a 20-minute period of time. Maybe your time will be in the morning. I can't do that. I am not a morning person. I need a lot of time to wake up and adjust to the day. So reading in the mornings has never been something that's worked for me. But if that is the time of day that you are your most alert and you can get up before your kids, that's the perfect time to read. Whatever you can do to minimize interruptions, like reading in the bathroom, I have no shame. If I'm going to be in the bathroom and I'm going to be in there for more than 5 minutes, I might as well be reading. So yeah, I squeeze in reading, and I have been known to spend upwards of 20 minutes in the bathroom because, hey, that's the only place the kids won't bother me. And I'll read. And, if you're having a crazy day and that is the only 20-minute block of time you can find, then you take it. You take it and you read, and you feel no shame about it. Because, hey, moms need peace once in a while too. That is how I make reading happen for me. Like I said, this might not work as well for you. It depends on your kids, on your day, on your schedule, on how you fit things in. But I hope I've given you at least a little bit of advice and tips on fitting reading into your day when you're a busy mom. I hope that I have helped you out and helped you find a way to make reading happen for you. And of course, this does not include reading with my kids. I always have something that I'm reading with my children, and I count those books in my reading too because I enjoy them just as much as the kids do. Like right now I'm reading Winnie the Pooh and Coraline, and those 2 books are fantabulous. I've never read Coraline, and I'm super excited about it because I love Neil Gaiman and I love his writing style, and so it's really fun. We're only 2 chapters in, but I'm already just like, let's read more. I love sharing books with my kids, but this video I was focusing more on books for me and books that I want to get to and that I make time to read outside of school hours. So yeah, it can happen. It can work, You can be a busy homeschooling mom or a busy working mom and still squeeze in reading. It can still happen. I will never give up my reading. That is like my being a human time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I helped you out. If you have any tips for making reading fit in your schedule, I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until next time, happy reading. Bye!